And it's the same numeric data that you would get if you went into a doctor's office, which I think makes it really convenient for those of you who I know you've told me that you would like to get some hormone testing done, especially as it pertains to your ovulation. Welcome back to my channel. Thanks so much for joining me again. If you are new here, then my name is Mariah, and today I have another fertility unboxing and review for you all. This video is sponsored by Mira. Mira is a fertility hormone tracker. It actually is the only one, I believe, on the market right now that is both FDA and CE certified for tracking your fertility hormones in a quantifiable data. So all that basically means is it gives you the numbers and actual numerical measurements of your hormones during your fertile window to help you really hone in on ovulation. As some of you know, my husband and I have been on a journey to conceive rainbow baby number 1 for the last 17 months, and I have tried a number of methods as far as tracking ovulation is concerned. I've done the Pregmate OPKs consistently. I recently have been using the OvuSense sensor, and I've only been using that for about 3 months, and I'm still trying to get the hang of temping, but I figured why not try out Mira? I'm a data person. I like to see actual numbers. That's kind of, I guess, why I like going to the doctor and getting tests there, because I can see the actual numbers versus reading lines or trying to interpret charts or anything like that. So I figured I would give them a try, and pretty much just going to be doing an unboxing with you guys and giving you guys my first initial impressions of this device. So let's get started. Okay, so I have the box right here. I haven't actually really looked in it. I just cut open the box essentially so I can make sure this was the right box. Okay. Very cute packaging, very interesting packaging too. I love their logo. It's very clean, very simplistic, but very friendly and welcoming. But I'm really excited to crack this open because out of all the things on the market, I've never ran into a product that can actually give you the measurement of your LH hormone at home. That's the biggest thing. You can do this all at home. So yes, while I love the information I get to the doctor. I don't love going to the doctor. But while I love the information I get from the doctor, it's way more convenient and easy to get that info at home. So this is how it comes once you take it out of the box. So here is the packaging. Just has that on the side, and inside when you get your first pack, they'll basically send it with 10 fertility wands. So it's all one bundle. Okay, so now that I've got all that wrapping off, there's just a little sticker on the front, so I'm gonna go ahead and cut that off. Okay, so this is the box of testing wands, and this is the actual device.
If I could ever get it open.
Okay. What is it with me and magnetic openings? I just went through this with the other jewelry. All right, so right off the bat, it's rechargeable. This is what the inside of the box looks like. Just has their little logo up here, and I guess this is foam to keep it all intact. This is the actual device, and as you guys can see, it does come with a charger, which is fabulous because I didn't really know if I was getting something that was going to need batteries, and that was a major concern of mine. And this is actually not even the device. This is the case that the device goes in. That's really, really cool. And it's also smart because one of the perks of this is that you're supposed to be able to just take it on the go with you. So I can easily see this going through an airport with no issue whatsoever. I also hope I didn't have to charge this beforehand, because if so, I'll have to charge it and then come back to continue. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and unzip this little pouch that it comes in so you can see the actual device. And it kind of reminds me of Eva from WALL-E. It literally looks like the character Eva from WALL-E. So that's what it looks like. It's very lightweight. It's kind of shaped like an egg. And I'm assuming you just click it to turn it on. Yep, turned it on. Said Mira. There's a little download QR. I've already downloaded the app on my iPad, so I'm gonna go ahead and just sync the two. Okay, so I'm just gonna click, I want to get pregnant. And when did we start trying to conceive? Wow, this only goes back to 2018, so that's pretty much perfect for us, but I don't know why it only goes back to 2018. I think that's kind of weird. I'm assuming they're assuming that you would have gotten help with whatever by now, but still kind of weird. Okay, so after you set up your app on whatever device, whether it's your phone or your iPad or whatever, you basically just sync it via Bluetooth, and it synced really quickly. It was just one quick beep and that was it. Basically already says ready to test and lets me know that it has no prior readings on it. There's also a little battery over here to let me know that that's about how much juice I have left in it. So whenever I need to recharge it, it'll basically let me know, which is really nice that it has that right on the screen. Okay, so let's go ahead and open up these tests so we can take one and see what those look like. So it has a little expiration date right down here. Lets me know that after September of this year, these will have expired. There's a lot of manuals in here too. There's like at least 3 different manuals. There's one for the actual device, there's one for the wands, and then there is a quick start manual. Personally, I'm gonna go with the quick start one because it's only 8 steps on it and it's only one piece of paper. So in the box, they send you the fertility wands. There's 10, like I said, in the starter kit, and then they also send you catch cups, which are really nice because I feel like these make it a lot more easier to catch your urine and to dip it when you need to. I currently have already used solo cups to collect my urine, so that's what I'm going to be using today. But it's nice that they went ahead and put the catch cups in there. So it basically says immerse the fertility test wand into urine for 10 seconds and to please use first warning urine or limit fluid intake for 2 hours before a test. So unlike most ovulation tests, you can actually use this because this is testing for your hormones. You can use your first morning urine in this. I actually didn't know that before I collected the urine, so this is not first morning urine that I'll be using. I've actually already collected urine that has given me a close to peak reading on an OPK. It's not quite a positive OPK, but it's really getting close to it. So they're a lot shorter. Okay, so that's what the stick looks like. This is the side you dip with, and here is a cap that you're gonna remove after you dip it. Let's go 1, 2, 8, 9, and 10. I'm gonna try to do this without getting any urine on myself. You're gonna unclip the cap, and then you're gonna cover it up. This is messy. I don't know how I feel about this. So you move the blue cap to the other side of the test, and then you just insert it in. There's an arrow on it to let you know, and it clicks and it beeps. So it's not very complicated to figure out how to use it. The instructions are pretty simple. I think for me, it was a little bit weird because the urine kind of ran to the other side of the test with me dipping it before I could put the cap on. So I feel like it's a little bit messier in a sense for me doing it this first time, but I'm sure I'll get the hang of it. And on here, it just has a little timer. I'm not gonna hold this up forever because I want it to process properly, but it gives you a 15-minute timer to where you can just literally, I'm gonna sit it on my counter and then I will just wait until the 15 minutes is up. I think that's pretty freaking cool. I don't have to set an additional timer. It's all in this one device. So far, first impressions before I even get any results is I like the shape of the actual Mira device. It's very aerodynamic. It's easy to hold. It's easy to set up. Like setting it up took less than 5 minutes, and that's including the time it took for me to create an account. The only thing I'll say so far is the wands are a little bit funky as far as finagling them without getting any type of urine on yourself. That, or I'm just really bad at not getting urine on myself. I do feel like it's slightly more messy than other fertility tracking devices. However, like I said, this is the only one that's literally tracking down to the numeric value of what hormones you have in your system of the LH hormone. So I would say that's a fair trade-off for a little bit of a mess. You can always wash your hands, which I'm gonna do right now. Now the urine that I'm using is actually from, like I said, about cycle day 13 for me. It's not gonna say that on this app because at this point I'm definitely past cycle day 13. But that was, like I said, the same day that my OPKs were getting really dark. It's also the same day that I went ahead and triggered. So I did collect this urine before I triggered. So this is just all natural, whatever my body decided to do on that day. And I think it'll be interesting to see the actual numeric value that it comes out with for where my hormones were the day before ovulation. So apparently, I didn't catch it on camera, of course, but this buzzes and gives you a little bit of a like a little vibration to let you know that it's halfway through processing. I kind of feel like this is quite a nifty device. It almost reminds you of like a weird kitchen timer as well. But I'll be back as soon as this is done processing to share the results with you guys. Not very much to my surprise, this has my LH at high. It's measuring exactly at a 47. I'm hoping you guys can see that. But it has it at high, the same way my OPKs were reading high, but now I have the exact number. You guys might say, what's the big deal if this says high and the OPKs say high as well? What is the big deal if they're both saying the exact same thing? Well, with the OPKs, you're trusting your eyes and sometimes other devices to read the OPKs for you, whereas this just gives you a physical number, which I pretty much feel like takes the guesswork out of it because there's no adjustments to be made. It's based off of literally what's in the concentration of your urine. So I do feel like this kind of takes some of the guesswork out of it as far as tracking your LH and as far as tracking your ovulation. Now keep in mind this time frame is only for the purposes of me recording this video. If I had gotten the Mira a little bit faster in my actual ovulation window, I would have been able to use it for a longer period of time, but since I didn't, I was just able to save the urine, and it actually tells you even when the screen turns back off. So this is how I don't think the screen will turn back off on command. But if I was to let it sit for a minute, the screen would go back off, and then I would just be able to click this button and it would just be able to pull up again that my number was at a 47 on the actual date. So I like that the reminder is right there on the actual device. Now my app just now connected. That's the beep you just heard. So it's trying to currently, I believe, sync the data. So it actually rounded up. I'm gonna put the screens over here, but on the actual app, you can see that my hormone measurements were actually 46.81, but obviously that's a lot to fit on that little tiny baby screen. And it says on the app right here that you are reaching peak fertility when LH is medium and you are at peak fertility when LH is high. So because this device actually registered the LH in my system as high, it's saying that that same day, what was cycle day 13 for me, I was actually at the peak of my hormones. What I also like about the app is it gives you a fertility score that you can kind of scroll through. And of course, the further I go back, it's really just guesstimating as to what my fertility window was because I hadn't, of course, tested every single day. But when you scroll to the current day, it lets you know that basically because you hit a peak, your fertility score was at a 10, which is the highest that I believe it goes. It starts off at a 1, which is basically saying you're not in your fertile window at all. It goes to a 4 and then goes all the way up to 10. And then after your 10, it pretty much will drop down eventually to a 1. So their scoring system is still pretty cut and dry. It's not very hard to understand. It's not very difficult to comprehend. I love that it gives you a fertility score along with the actual numeric value of your LH. Also in the Mira app, you can go ahead and log, of course, your period, the time of intercourse. You can log your cervical position, your cervical mucus. It automatically logs your hormone levels for you. You can also log your temperature and you can take notes. And it also has its own chart for your fertility hormone curve. I, of course, only used it the one day, so I don't have a curve, but I definitely think that in the future, it'll be interesting to see what that curve exactly looks like. I also feel like it's going to be interesting to see how this data correlates with other devices that I'm currently using to predict ovulation. Now, of course, with measuring all of these hormones, there is no guarantee of ovulation. This device will not guarantee that you're going to ovulate. It is just measuring your LH hormones. The same way OPKs don't tell you that you're going to ovulate. They give you a sort of a hint, a clue, or indicator that maybe in 24 to 48 hours you will be gearing up for ovulation, but all it's doing is measuring that LH hormone within your system. Like I said, it does not guarantee that you are going to ovulate. Okay, now as for taking the stick back out of the device, you just slide it back out. And there's actually a little door, so to speak, that closes. I don't know if you guys can see that in there, but that's where you insert the stick. And the stick goes all the way in and it has a little chip on the back. So that's really how Mira is reading that data, through this chip back here. As you can see, the actual stick is still kind of wet, and you can of course just toss it when you're done. I was a little bit concerned that some of the urine would be like dripping out of this or something like that, but this is actually dry. And even though obviously you pee on a stick and insert it in here, this doesn't smell like urine. It smells pretty much like silicone. But overall, first impressions of this device, I would say that I feel like it's pretty unique both in design and its purpose. I feel like there are other devices out there that do track your fertility hormones, but not in a numeric sort of way. You're either dealing with digital OPKs that give you smiley faces that are either like blank flashing, or little open circles versus closed circles, or tests that have lines on them that you're looking for, you know, a darker test line, the control line, or for the two to match up. There are a number of things that you can use to track your fertility, but I do think that this is a pretty unique design, and I do like that it gives you numeric data. And it's the same numeric data that you would get if you went into a doctor's office, which I think makes it really convenient for those of you who, I know you've told me that you would like to get some hormone testing done, especially as it pertains to your ovulation, but you're either in the midst of changing jobs, changing insurances, or you have to pay out of pocket, and testing like that is really expensive. So I definitely feel like this can be a fix or a solve for those types of needs. Of course, I'm in the middle of a cycle right now, so I don't know whether or not I am closer to pregnancy right now or going to be starting a new cycle. So if I am not yet pregnant, I will definitely be continuing to use the Mira in the future, and I'll be sure to keep you guys updated on how it goes. If you're interested in trying out Mira for yourself, there will be a code down in the description for $25 off of your purchase. I'll also put that code right into here. That way you guys can save a little bit of coin if you choose to go ahead and try it out. So that's it for this video, guys. You already know the drill. If you liked it, which I hope you did, make sure you give us a huge thumbs up. Go ahead and subscribe to join our tribe. Hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on any future uploads. Ladies, I am sending you all lots of positive vibes, lots and lots of love, plenty of sticky baby dust. I am wishing you a very fertile 2020, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Bye.